Okay, so this is where I left you, and I did not like how I finished it. So I'm going to really solidify why this is the correct answer. So my hint to you on graphing this function is to use a table, and it's more beneficial, in my opinion, you can disagree with me, to rewrite this problem. And I know I wrote the y equals over here, but remember you could write y over here equals y. So it looks like it's 9 to the y power is equal to x. That's what we learned in the first video. So when I make an xy chart, making a table, it actually makes more sense to plug in values for y, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, and start to actually investigate that 9 to the 0 power is equal to 1. That's something we've already established. That's why we have the ordered pair 1, 0 for the log function. If I plugged in 1 for y, 9 to the first power equals 9. So if I were to graph this a little bit better, somewhere over here would be the ordered pair 9, 1. So I know this would be poorly 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then that y coordinate being 1. And the next point, what stinks about this is like you'd have to go all the way to 81. 9 to the second power is 81. And over here you'd have 1/9. Like 1/9 is way down here, -1. I don't know. This is very poorly drawn. So I recognize that my graph is very poorly drawn. So let me show you with a graphing calculator. This is the last screen I showed you. So if I quit out of that and then go to y equals and just type that in using log base, as I've already shown you, log base 9 of x, and I go to the graph, well, let me hit zoom 6 first. The problem with the graphing calculator is it wants to make sure that everything passes the vertical line test, and there's not enough pixels to show any more dots here. But it does go infinitely down, and that's a downside to the graphing calculator. The other piece I left you off with the first video is that it was the inverse of 9 to the x power. So if I look at the graph of that, what you should identify is that these two functions are inverses of each other, and that they're reflected over that diagonal line y equals x. Whoops, not that button. Y equals x. So you can see that they're reflected over that line, which is all things that we've discussed. Yeah. So what's different about the second graph is, again, feel free to make a table. Let me change colors. And rewrite it as 1/4 to the y power is equal to x. So if you made a t-chart or table, and you don't need that many values. Oops, I put it on the wrong one. I'm so used to putting in for x values. I'm sure you are as well. So if you plug in 0 for y, anything to the 0 power equals 1. Oh, look at that. It has the same x-intercept no matter what you do. Oh, my goodness. I'm struggling with this graph. That is not much better. Anyway, we only care about numbers. Imagine these are perfect lines. So we have 1, 0. But the difference is when we plug in -1 for y, we get an answer of +4. Because remember, it's the reciprocal function. So when x is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the y value is -1. And then I bet you could figure out that this would be 1/4. So when x is 1/4, the y value is about 1. So this still is only values to the right of the y-axis. Okay, so let me, just like the exponential function has a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0, these functions have a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. We can only log positive numbers. So let me go back a slide or two. We can only log positive numbers. Super important stuff. And feel free to use a graphing calculator to check that work. But at this point, I think I'm going to stop the video. You have a long assignment. I was hoping to make this into one video, but clearly that did not happen. And feel free to write down any questions or come to class with questions, whether it's about the notes, the video, the homework, or just maybe you just have a random question you want to ask me, and I'll do my best to answer it. So go ahead and get busy.